Hello everyone, welcome to Ghost Prime Transformers Reviews. Today I'll be taking a look at Earthrise Decepticon Titan Class Scorponok. This thing is huge. He is really awesome. I say that about way too many figures, but this thing really is awesome. He has wonderful design. His design actually is sort of a mix-up of a bunch of kind of variations on Scorponok's design. The Generation 1, of course, the Marvel Comics design, and a little bit of the cartoon, but it has a very strong Marvel Comics 80s design with this little small piece in the chest, and the way this whole piece is built here looks different than in the cartoon. He is very nice. The plastic feels really good on him, as opposed to some of the other Titans that seems like that flimsy plastic. He's got a lot of heft. He's a little bit more expensive than the other ones, but it shows the money is put, you know, it's very nicely made. It's a really nice figure. There's a couple nitpicks I'd have. There's a couple little things that here and there that I'm not 100% on, but it's something that either could be fixed later, or it's just something that you know, the way it is. But it's not. It's a nitpick. I can't say that I don't like anything about this figure. I can go out on a limb right now in the intro and say, in my opinion, this is the best Titan we've gotten so far. He is wonderful. Zarek here is great. He's an awesome headmaster, as I'll show you in the review. Without any further ado, let's get to the review. All right, let's take a look at the packaging first. Now, this is a massive box. This thing is huge. Take a look at my hand in relation to the box. It's got a wonderfully painted image here in the front of Scorponok in battle. You can see him holding Optimus Prime. There's what looks to be the Ark here in the background. Up over here in almost the corner is a Double Dealer flying in. Something interesting on the side here, you see his blast coming, and that looks to be from Megatron. I wonder if we're going to see that in the Netflix series. But it is just a beautiful image. See if I get up in close at some of this detail here. You can see there he is with Optimus Prime, scowling on his face. Really nice detail on this, on the drawing on the front here. Very cool. And, you know, on the side, you get the standard Earthrise image. On the back, you have a CG render of Scorponok and Zarek in his various modes. Interesting that they left these on here. So you see him in the base, the Scorpion, and the robot. And of course, Zarek, small and large Zarek. On the top, there's just a Decepticon logo, War for Cybertron Trilogy logo. And what's interesting is I don't know what this is on the bottom. It's just a metal shard piece. I'm not sure if this has any significance. And inside the box you get this wonderful map piece here. This is great. On the back here, this is Unicron. If you get up on close into here, it says Unicron. And then on the bottom, you have these different chains, which are representative of these pieces, like right here, that are on the different map pieces. That is kind of like a key to the rest of the pieces for Siege. And I dropped the decoder. So here we are. So you have Space Bridge, Ark, Nemesis, Quintesson, and Fool's Fortune. And each one has separate chain. So that tells a chain of events, I would say. Haha, chain of events, get it? And of course, you get the instruction sheet. Now this instruction sheet is fairly massive. It's really clear. Has some very nice, very clear instructions. It is damn near poster size. And of course, you do get Scorponok himself in the packaging. Now, these pieces here, these guns here, the head, this other gun, and he has his back piece here, are all packaged separately. You have to attach them. The back piece is more of a permanent attachment. It doesn't actually, it'll come off, but it's not supposed to be removed for transformation. So where these guns are. He also has his shield piece. But I want to take a second to talk about the design of this figure. Now this figure has, as you can see, an excellent design. He takes a lot of design cues from the Marvel Comics, which I found very interesting. And let's see if I can put that up right here. So as you can see, he has a ton of design elements from that, but he also takes a lot of design elements from the Generation 1 toy, obviously, and the cartoon. So he's got a lot of detail. He's very well proportioned. His arms aren't too long. His elbows aren't too in the wrong spot. His knees are in the right place. He's really, really nicely proportioned. He's also super, super solid. This is one of the things I really enjoy about this figure. Also, all this beautiful paintwork, this metallic blue that shows up in all these areas, and this gunmetal gray, and a nice, it's a glossy orange color that they use for the accent, comes off very, very nice. As far as accessories, I do wish he had his gun. I think that would be great. He needs 2 more of these, maybe to go on the back. It also would really help in Scorpion mode. However, this is beautiful. One of the things I would like to do real quick is give him a quick turnaround, so you can see him from the side and the back with his backpack. There's the piece, the shield piece with the claws on it. But as you can see, there's just a ton of detail. Let's turn him around and I'll zoom in close on this guy. And here is a nice close-up of him. Just to see if I can hold the camera. Here's a nice close-up of his head sculpt. Beautiful head sculpt. There's that blue paint I was mentioning. A ton of sculpted detail and really nice paintwork. The paint sets it off beautifully. And while I have him in robot mode, let's do some size comparisons. Here he is with Fortress Maximus. As you can see, Fortress Maximus is a bit taller, kind of going off the top of my camera here. But one thing I do want to note, hear that? Crickety, thin feeling plastic, to where this guy, nothing. Those are his ratchets that you're hearing. This thing is solid. I mean, no electronics, but I mean, you don't get that crickety sounding transformer. Not that this guy's bad or anything. Here he is with Omega Supreme. So as you can see here, he actually has some nice height on Omega Supreme. Definitely sized really nicely with the two. I think this is really nice. I think it's an appropriate size for Scorponok. All right, and here he is with Titans Return Decepticon. You see the size comparison there. So he's got some nice height on him. And here he is with Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime. Just towers over him. Okay, so let's do a little bit of articulation. So first off, his head has a little bit of an up and down movement. I believe this might have something to do with transformation. He does have a 360 at the neck. His arms at the shoulder will rotate almost all the way. It does hit the backpack. You cannot, if you notice, they are at an angle. They do not move this way. You have to move his shoulders out this way here, like that. He does have a very ratchety bicep swivel, 90 degrees at the elbow. He has a bit of wrist in and out. Nice thumb, I guess if you will, and finger articulation on both hands. He also has 360 at the waist. He could go, oh, as I knock his head off, all the way out with his leg. Thigh swivel, 360. He has full, due to transformation, full knee articulation. And ankle tilts. So he could actually get into some fairly decent poses. Very decent posing with this guy. He can do some really cool things. Just while I have him here, he could also, his hands are strong enough to hold on to other figures like Optimus Prime, like it shows on the box. As I pop off his neck piece. So he could hold other figures, and just this guy look awesome just posed just like this, or anyway, he's very menacing. Transformation's fairly straightforward on this guy to get him into both modes. What I'll do is, this keeps popping off. That is something I do not like, but I guess it's better than these little things breaking. Couple things I do not like I said, more of a nitpick. I wish his head adhered just a little better. It kind of pops off. Not super easy. Like if I turn it upside down and shake it, it won't come off. Or same with this thing, but as moving it, it kind of does pop off. It is something I don't like. That I wish would have changed. So let's get into transformation with Zarek here first. All right, and here is Zarek. Now, as a head, he's very nicely detailed all the way around. I think it has the appropriate amount of detail. He does look very nice. Kind of sculpted detail around. You can see the eyes for the Scorpion mode. Very, very cool. And I don't really have too much to compare him to as far as the original. I do have the Decepticon Scorponok head, so you can see how that compares. I think this guy has a really cool transformation. I think it's unique, and I think there's a lot of good details on it. So the first thing you want to do is there's a flap up here. You want to open that up. Then you want to take this piece, fold it up like that. Now it also reveals his eyes. This is just one of those cool little details. Actually, it's painted with a couple different tones of green there, like a yellow green and a green in the center. It's just one of those nice details that doesn't really need to be there, but is there. So you move this whole thing up like so, and then he kind of goes like this. It's on a hinge. Down covers the face. That doesn't lock in, which is kind of a shame, but it's, again, nitpicky. So here you can see the chest of Zarek, and that had the legs are back here. So just kind of lift that up a bit. Then you take the legs here, fold them out, down. And then you can see these little pieces right here. Fold those so they are facing down like that. Then you want to take his arms, pull them out like so. Move my camera up a little bit. Okay, and now you have this. So you want to take his chest, move that down, and it pegs in right there, pegs in fairly securely. That reveals the head, his arms, unfold, his fists come out on either side. I like the way his arms fold in and he becomes very small. It makes a less bulky head. I think that's very nice. So these here pieces don't have to be there. These just friction slide in there via the peg holes. These, so if you see this little slot right there. So there's this little peg that will slot. See if I can get it directly in on either side. Now this is the official way to do it. Of course, it is your toy. So you could leave it off, you can do whatever you want to it. That's how they go in the back. And there you have Zarek. Now you see here he is in robot mode. Now he is really nicely detailed. Let's get in close up here at his face. He's got a pretty nice face sculpt, I think. He looks very much like the cartoon and the original figure. Lots of detail in the chest. Some paint right here. This is something I particularly like. So the original Zarek figure had these two little, like, I don't know really what they are, guns or whatever they are, the arms. And they kept this detail here in this little piece that goes right on the outside of the arm. I think that's something that they kind of went above and beyond with the detailing on this guy. I thought that was really cool. So for articulation, he has pretty much the standard deluxe scale articulation. He has, let's just take these off. Don't get in the way. So he has 360 of the shoulder. They can go out about that far. He has a double bend at the elbow, mostly due to transformation. He does have a bicep swivel. No wrist swivel, which I guess is to be expected on a figure of this size. His legs could go back. Now, not too far because of this piece here. Now, he has a waist articulation. So you can put it back further if you just put it around this piece here, this butt flap piece. But he does have thigh swivel, and he's a little more than 90 at the knee. And of course, because Siege, he has to have ankle tilts, which is awesome. And here's a quick comparison with Cerebros. As you can tell, he is a hair shorter, about a head shorter than Cerebros here. But one thing I do want to point out, so if you notice, if you look at the way the thighs are shaped versus these just being straight, just the different, the detail, the largest in the chest, the smaller waist, the curvature of the thighs, to where this thing is just straight lines. This is a much better designed characterization than this one is. Both are really good in their own right, but this one just has much more thought, much more love behind it. Of course, he is a headmaster, so you can take off his head. I just need to go off script here for a second. I just about had a heart attack. I lost these two little pieces. Apparently, when I was trying to get the head back in, they got like this and they both pulled off and they got stuck inside the chest of Scorponok. So be wary of that. I was just about, well, I'm done. That's it. No more review. I just lost these two little pieces. But they're there. They're inside the chest of Scorponok, so be wary of that. Anyway, here is the head. Let's get close up on the face. It's really nice sculpt. Of course, he is the Titan. And you just unfold him like so. And let's get real close. See if I can focus. Not a lot of paint on the head itself, but he has pretty nice detail of Zarek there. And quick comparison of the two headmasters here, Spike and Zarek. All right, I'm going to attempt to get this guy into Scorpion mode. So first we want to detach his accessories. So you take off the guns on the side here, and they just peg in via the port right there. Turn the figure around. Now, while we're here, I would like to talk about this. So it will attach there and attach the two little pegs here, but it still has this piece that kind of does offset it a little bit. And that's something I don't like. Now, it'll stay relatively okay, but I would prefer to have like a little piece there that would snap in here and there, as well as these two places here. One thing, this is not 100% necessary to take off. This is his shield, but you do have to take off these pieces on his feet here, or on the side of his legs. And they're on either side and look like this, and this piece here. So what they do is you take this piece, take these two pieces, and they kind of lock in place. Like so. Get that in focus there. And then you take these pegs and they slide into these holes. Like that. And then you have the arm piece goes in these two holes. Like that. Now he has his claw shield. But we are going to remove these. I hate this thing. It scares me. All right, now that we have all that stuff removed, first, we want to take them, twist them at the waist, take his arm, arms go up and out. The backpack comes untabbed for the top. You just let that hang. The legs and arachnid legs fold out. And you want to lay him down, which I don't even know if he's going to fit here. See if you can still see him. Move my camera a little bit. You take his head, turn his head all the way around. Make sure it's all pegged in. Take the panels on his legs. Here's his feet. Fold right in like that. Same on this side. Fold in. And then these come back like this. Just keep it like that. Keep those panels back. Fold the legs. Knees all the way around. I'll flatten these pieces out. Toes go in, and then there's two little holes here and pegs there, and they peg right in. It is fairly straightforward and fairly easy to do. You make all these sure these are flat. Take the tail. See if I can do this from behind. Of course, his head fell off, but then you take tail, fold the tail out. Fold it out and fold it out, up and over. Just stick his head right back on. All right, now we're turning him around. Head, arms, move him how you'd like. He does have this rotation here and here to give him a little more claw-like features. The gun. The guns go here for a more iconic look. You can, of course, stick them here. There are pegs here. This piece actually pegs right back on the back, right where it was originally. We'll just leave that off for right now. These two pieces here, the two holes here, peg right in on either side. And he is large in this mode. Very long. I haven't measured, but I know he's couple feet maybe. It's with the arms extended like that. He's definitely a large figure. He does have some ports. So like as I aforementioned, these ports here, 5mm ports, and he does have a blast effect here. Now the blast effects he comes with are exactly the same as Jetfire's blast effect. There's no different there, but it can just go on the end, which looks okay. And these, I do want to point out something about these. I wish there were 4 of them, like the original Scorponok, because these actually look great right there. But I would still love a pair here. That is one thing that I do wish he had, was more of these, and there's just no way to get them, unfortunately. Unless I buy a whole nother Scorponok, which would, for the guns, would just be silly. Okay, I had to move this guy into a different location to get him into base mode. So to transform this guy into base mode, you're going to want to remove the guns. These little bits here on the side. Either side of them. Turn around and move the piece back here and disconnect the tail. Take the tail, fold it around, fold it in. This piece all the way around like this. Creates that ramp. Turn around, take off the head. Keep bumping the camera. Flatten out the legs. Either side. You want to take the arms, straighten them out, lift them up like this. Either side and twist so they face that direction. Take the legs and untab the panels at the side. Unfold the legs. Now, one of the things you want to do here is this here joint. So, you know, like this, twist this joint so this is facing upward. Then take the thigh swivel, move it around like this. This goes down and like that. And then you take this panel right here. The panel goes around and down. This other panel right here, this is actually the bottom of the foot. It snaps out like that. And you do the same thing for both sides. The little panel goes down. Other side, out, twist, twist. Now it goes around, and this piece, like so. Now you take this here, this has a tab right here, the ramp, and there's a hole right here. So it just tabs directly in, like so. This piece lifts up right there. So this is what we have so far. Now you're going to want to take these pieces here. So each one of these, and take one of the turrets and plug the turret into these bottom pieces right here. Like that. And you take these, and these have the holes here that plug directly. Well, a little further down actually. These go here, there, like so. And you do the same on the other side, like that. And those peg on quite securely. You take this piece here, this is the shield piece, and you plug it in right here. Take these right here and plug that in just like that. And there you have the base mode. So overall, this is very faithful to Generation 1. It is really, really good. It is lacking a lot of accessories. It doesn't have any of the little radar dishes. It doesn't have the elevator. It lacks a lot of little pieces that I would have really liked to see in this. In fact, it lacks any guns. You're using the guns for this part right here on the towers, which actually look really good on the towers. So it looks really good as towers. Now you can plug any weapons in there with a 5mm port. So there's a bunch of little ports here, here. There's a couple. Thanks, Kiara. But you can kind of make this battle it up a little bit. One of the things, so you can't take any of the Titan Masters here, the Headmasters. And there are a couple little ports here for the feet. Of course, that didn't work. Just plug them in right there. There's some here. There's a couple like, over on the other side, like right here. There's one right here. Not using for blast effects, more used for the Titan Masters. The head could actually store under here. There's a panel And it'll keep this head right here. So you have everything together. Stand here, you go in there also. So he has these ramps. Let me show you some size comparisons of how he is in this to some of the a couple Earthrise vehicles. All right, here he is with Alternate Universe Optimus Prime. So as you can see, he's about, he's about the same width as the ramp. So he does work for the full-size vehicles. And here is Wheeljack. Looks pretty, I mean, decent, If he had a lot of weapons, it would be a great battle station, not necessarily a base, but a battle station. So it does really nice things with it. I like it. I appreciate it. This is not his best mode, but I'm glad it's there. It's a great homage to the Generation 1 figure. It's really a nice sort of homage. Oh man, best Titan yet. I'm saying it. This is really good. He is a really, really decent figure. A couple nitpicks. Like I said, I wish I would have this to connect up here. It stays pretty well, but you can see it kind of falls back. It doesn't really offset the balance, which is good, but I wish it clicked in a little better. I do wish he had more accessories, and that is something that I think is actually needed. A couple more of these guns, at least, and his pistol would really make this nice in the Scorpion mode and the robot mode. I do like the fact that he can hold on to other, like, Voyagers and even, I guess, leader class figures from the Earthrise line. He has good posability. Plastic is nice. It's thick. He's hefty. He's just a very good figure. I mean, even if you don't collect, you like your G1 collector, you don't really collect Earthrise or any of those things, I would go ahead and pick this one up if you just like Transformers in general, just because he looks fantastic. He would look awesome posed on a shelf with a couple Transformers and other Transformers in his hands, like in battle. He's a really nice display piece, especially with all the detail that they packed into this figure. He is definitely one to have above the rest. So please, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you hit that thumbs down, if you have to, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.